Excavation Guidelines. Overview. Utilize the following guidelines to address the hazards associated with excavation work. All tasks involving excavation should meet the requirements of 29 CFR 1926, Subpart P. Summary. Pre-excavation considerations. Utility locating. Protective systems. Pre-installation meetings. Site-specific silica exposure plan. General excavation considerations. Shielding systems. Soil stability. Water accumulation. Traffic and pedestrian control. Hazardous atmospheres. Additional information. Pre-excavation considerations. Utility locating. Prior to any excavation work, all utilities should be properly located. Safe digging practices, e.g., vac truck, hand dig, etc., and potholing. Call 811 prior to any excavation activity. Each trade partner should be responsible for the utility locates associated with their scope of work. Excavation checklist completed prior to excavation activities and updated throughout their duration. For excavation work on private property, project teams will utilize a 3-carat road party locating company to locate utilities such as an independent utility locating service. Protective systems. Project teams should determine if foundation work for new buildings will require protective systems such as sheeting. Utilize soil boring logs or visual, manual tests to determine the soil type on the project. OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Administration, 29 CFR Subpart P Appendix A. Determine the locations and depths of the foundations. Measure the horizontal distances from the bottom of each foundation wall to the nearest site constraint, e.g., project fence, transformer pad, etc. Utilizing the foundation depths and horizontal distances from the site constraints, determine the slopes of the foundation excavations. Compare this slope to the required slope, OSHA 29 CFR Subpart P Appendix B, for the soil type on site. Actual slopes that are not as safe as the required slopes may indicate the need for a shoring system. Contact the safety department as soon as possible for additional guidance. Review adjacent structures to determine if any of the following will be needed. Shoring, bracing, underpinning. Vibration monitoring. Where hard barriers, concrete and/or plastic jersey barriers and snow fence are not required, an open excavation or trench shall be identified with. The use of red pennant flagging or rope to establish a controlled access zone shall be a minimum of 2 feet from the edge and shall include signage designating the excavation hazard and contact information. Pre-installation meetings. Project teams should determine the necessary pre-installation meetings based on excavation depths, locations, etc. Conduct a pre-installation meeting with the applicable parties to discuss anticipated depths and protective methods. Competent person and inspection methods. Competent persons can utilize the excavation planning checklist to document excavation safety provisions. General excavation considerations. Refer excavation safety summary for OSHA requirements regarding trench safety. Shielding systems. Trench shielding systems should be completely assembled before employees are allowed inside. Employees should not be inside of a trench while the trench shielding systems are being transported. Soil stability. Evidence of any type of soil distress, i.e., fissures, cracks, slumping, sudden bulging, sinking, sudden trickling or material, should be reported to the competent person immediately to determine the stability of the trench and if an evacuation is necessary. Nearby vibrating machinery nearby, heavy loads, nearby traffic, sudden rain, and excessive dry weather can all impact the soil's stability. Report any concerns to the competent person as soon as reasonably possible. Water accumulation. In the event of water seepage, accumulation, steps should be taken to remove the water prior to employee entry, e.g., water removal pumps. Water removal strategies should follow the Storm Water Pollution Prevention Plan. If water accumulation continues to be an issue, concern, special shoring, shielding systems to minimize water may be used. Worker retrieval systems may be deployed. Exposed utility protection. Protecting exposed underground utilities helps ensure the utility is not damaged and protects employees working near the exposed utility. Only hand digging or hydro excavation should be used within 18 inches on either side of exposed utilities. Exposed utilities can shift, separate, or be damaged when they are no longer supposed or protected by the soil around them. Trade partners should support or brace exposed utilities and protect them from moving or shifting, which could result in damage to the utility. Backfilling. The trade partner should protect all utilities from damage when backfilling an excavation, e.g., hand dig, hydro excavation, etc. Trash, debris, coiled wire, or other material that could damage existing utilities or interfere with the accuracy of future locations should not be buried in the excavation. As a best practice, extra caution should be taken to remove large rocks, sharp objects, and large chunks of hard-packed clay or dirt. No trash or pieces of abandoned lines should be backfilled into the excavation. Traffic and pedestrian control. MUTCD-compliant traffic zones should be established for excavation work on or near road shoulders, sidewalks, and other road, pedestrian traffic areas. Refer to Traffic and Pedestrian Control for additional information. Employees working near mobile equipment related to excavation should, at a minimum, utilize high-visibility shirts, reflective vests. A warning system, e.g., barricades or hand signals, should be used when mobile equipment is operated next to the edge of an excavation and visibility is hindered. Excavations should be marked, barricaded to restrict pedestrians from entering the area and to protect them from the work. Wells, holes, pits, shafts, and similar excavations should be barricaded or covered nightly as needed to prevent unauthorized access. All excavations with public exposure potential should be backfilled as soon as reasonably possible. Hazardous atmospheres. The competent person should determine if hazardous atmospheres exist and if atmospheric testing is necessary. CLUNE employees needing multi-gas monitors should contact any safety department member to coordinate delivery, training, and use of the monitor. Excavations deemed hazardous through testing, soil analysis will need emergency planning, e.g., rescue plans, emergency equipment, etc. High-risk activity forecasting and planning. A high-risk activity, HRA, plan should be developed for tasks involving excavation and ground disturbance. The following elements should be described as part of the Level 2 plan, which will involve a meeting 1 to 2 weeks before the task takes place. The identification of ground disturbance activities in the work scope and schedule. The process will be used to identify and locate existing underground utilities. Any planned obstructions need to be accounted for. The process for tracking, updating as-built, and drawings, BIM models. Training and authorization requirements for those performing ground disturbance activities. Plan detailing how employees will access excavations that are 4 feet or more in depth to perform work, maximum of 25 feet distance between egress, e.g., ladders, steps, ramps, or other safe means of egress. Protection plans for open excavations, regardless of depth, refer to the protection section above for more information. Emergency action plans, including rescue plans for cave-ins of excavation activities. Procedures to protect the trench, excavation from collapse or cave-in. All other related EHS, environmental, health and safety, procedures and regulatory requirements specific to ground disturbance activities. Completed ground disturbance permit and excavation planning checklist. On the days of the excavating activities, a daily hazard analysis will be completed, which will include required PPE, personal protective equipment, associated with the task. Before each shift starts, by a competent person, a walk-down, inspection of excavation to inspect for fissures, sloughing, or any issues that could cause an unsafe work area. Any previous near misses, incidents, or lessons learned for the previous day's work. Change management process for changing site conditions such as heavy rain, etc. The steps of the task of the day, the hazards, and their mitigation. Crew sign in section. Additional information. OSHA 29 CFR 1926.650. Subpart P. Excavations.